Everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Krista here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You can always check out your Moon and Rising sign readings in addition to your Sun sign reading today for extra clarity for the week, or in case this Sun sign reading isn't resonating with you for whatever reason. I'll be using the medicine cards for your main spread today, and then as always drawing cards from the Healing with the Angels Oracle and the Wisdom of the Oracle decks. This is for the week of September 26th to October 3rd. Happy autumn solstice, by the way, Cancer. So this is a general reading for your sign. Whatever is most prominent in your life this week, I encourage you to take these messages and apply them to. And I hope that you find them helpful in healing. So what does Cancer need to know? Interesting week for you. Let's get a little idea of what's going on with all of these cards together as a little snapshot before looking at them one by one. The easiest way to frame this week, Cancer, is be careful not to play the fool this week. You don't want to get on anyone's bad side. You don't want to try to upset anyone. You don't want to try to act as a know-it-all, particularly at the end of the week, especially if you feel like you've figured something out, or if there is any level or playing field around something that you consider hierarchical. So a boss and an employee, or a teacher and a student, you want to remember to play fair this week. Whatever is going to feel gamey by the end of the week, unless it's done literally for a laugh, and that could very well be what's going on. Maybe you're just trying to provide someone with a laugh, and you're willing to put throw yourself under the bus to prove a point, or you're willing to make yourself the butt of a joke to prove a point, or unless you're willing to make sort of an ass of yourself. Unless it's for a higher purpose here, I would say, try to avoid that. Really try to avoid making something more complicated here, because something is developing very beautifully for you here. You are interested in developing. That's no different from any other week here. You're constantly developing. You're in process of developing, but you're just going to be looking at what stage are you at now, and just be really sure that you're not fooling yourself or fooling anyone. Here, a great deal of loyalty is going to be expressed in your life this week, or if you feel on any level that you were losing loyalty, or that there was a cause for concern around that type of theme for you this week, I think you're going to see that was unfounded. On the other hand, if it's not unfounded, then your feelings around that will have been on cue, and you'll be learning that if the concern around loyalty was actual or not by the end of the week. You'll know this because something will not feel gamey that was before around the concern of loyalty, or it will feel gamey, and then you'll have your answer. So, one by one in your central position, we have butterfly. This represents you this week. And of course, this is transformation. But it's not necessarily the complete transformation. This is the stage, okay? So this is one portion of an element of transformation for you. So I think it's just important to recognize that, this being your central card, this being you this week, I think you're just sort of coming to terms here with what stage are you at in this development around primarily an issue regarding loyalty. And yes, it includes your own, what are you loyal to? What is your cause? What is your passion? How committed to it are you? And is this a phase for you, or is this something that you're going to continue here? And with regard to a transformation as well, it could be that you find, like I said here, that loyalties are shifting or changing on some level, not necessarily for the worse, okay? Yes, it could be that a loyalty becomes undone, but it could be that a loyalty is being cemented this week in terms of you finding out for sure that something that you thought might be uncomfortable or that you're losing faith in someone here is restored. So you're just gonna have to find out where you stand first. The other person, like I said, it'll either stay gamey and then you'll know, oh, okay, well, there's an issue with that loyalty, or it'll solve itself, it'll smooth itself, it'll fall flat on its face, so to speak, and then you'll see, oh, okay, I didn't have to worry about that. That was an unfounded worry, but it will solve itself by the end of the week here. Any concern, rather, around loyalty and the transformation of your own personal development with regard to this sense of loyalty, this relationship, this theme, this reliability, and so forth. You want to make sure here as well that at whatever stage that you're developing here, at what phase you are in during your personal transformation here, including where you want to go, right? What is the long term and the short term, and what are your plans here? You want to be really clear about this. Are you being loyal to them? Are you being loyal to the developmental phases here? Is it wise to kick one of these processes out? Can you do without them? Do you have to come back later to it? So just really sort of take stock of where you are in your personal development. Just maybe analyze a little bit, generally speaking, about where you are with it. Are you being loyal to a plan simply because it was the plan, or are you being loyal to the learning process? And then because of that, when things shift or change or develop in a way that you couldn't have expected, because that's life, you're loyal to yourself and your own knowledge that things do change, and you're going to behave accordingly. You're not going to be, cling to something that isn't working just because it's something that you had planned, right? You want to be flexible this week around that issue, or around an issue around self-development here. In the influence to the current position is Bear. Here's where we're looking at introspection. This is a really good time for you, particularly probably at the beginning to middle of the week. For you, Cancer, we're looking at really taking stock of where you are. You want to get to a point where you understand where you are, why are you here, is this what you really want, what are you willing to do to continue, what's the long term, what's the short term. So you want to really devise that plan for yourself, because like I said, it's something that you're considering a loyalty to, and you don't want to cling to something that's falling apart, or you don't want to cling to something that isn't working anymore or has shifted for whatever reason. That's life. That happens. So it's a good time this week to really take stock of where it is you are right now, and be loyal to yourself. Have that self respect and self-preservation here to get to the heart of the matter. Take a little bit of a time out for yourself. Look within for answers as well. I would avoid going to other individuals. A really nice week for meditation. Really nice week for contemplation if meditating isn't your thing. And just generally speaking, raising your vibration here. But ultimately it has to do with sort of stepping away from outside influences, or stepping away even from outcomes, okay? Again, you want to just move away a little bit from some plans that you have had, and really take a breath, really take some needed time inward. This could involve just being in nature as well, being outside in nature, understanding that everything does have a phase, and that change is a very natural component of development. In your probable outcome, we have Coyote. This is where I'm reading that there's, there could be a situation here where if something does feel gamey, or if you've lost connection to something, or if something doesn't feel comfortable for you, that during this phase of development, that you could probably behave a little bit silly here, or even against your best interests here. I think as long as you're doing it and you're not sort of trying to overstep your boundaries in any ways with someone else, or you're not trying to create an illusion, or worse, a trap for someone else, you want to be really honest here as well. This is going to feel gamey no matter what. I hope that it's short-lived. But another way to frame Coyote, especially in your probable outcome, is to say that there's a fool's gold moment here. There's going to be something that feels real or looks real that isn't. Either you're presenting it or it's being presented to you. So you want to be really careful here that you're not playing games or acting a fool, because it could very well affect a loyalty, either someone's loyalty to you, or as I said, if this is being projected onto you, if something is feeling gamey and you've had your finger on the pulse for a little while, this could be the last straw this week. This could be the last slipping on the banana peel that they put out for you, so to speak. So if it feels trappy or gamey in any way for you this week, Cancer, you're going to know for certain this is not a person who's loyal or doesn't have your best interests at heart. Certainly if this is what you're projecting, that person is going to give up on you. So just be wary here that there could be some significant changes that you want to be in charge of, that you don't want to be flippant about. You're going to want to go within, figure it out so that you're not the fool, or you don't play someone else for the fool. In the general energy for the week is the Dog. Here's where I'm reading loyalty. This affects all three cards, of course. So we're looking at going within, understanding that you have the answers. Be loyal to yourself. Be loyal with your vision. Be loyal with your expectations. Understanding that they change, they shift. So maybe just take stock of where you are right now. And around the transformation for yourself, yeah, absolutely. You're going to want to maybe even look at what your short-term plans are, because they may have shifted. And again, perfectly normal. That's absolutely to be expected, Cancer, when developing a plan for yourself. In fact, don't fool yourself with it, especially if you've had a long-term plan and a portion of it or a phase of it hasn't worked out, and you're going to trick yourself into believing that it's important, or you're going to trick yourself into believing that you should keep it. It's a fool's game. Get rid of it if it's no longer welcome, or if it's no longer playing a positive portion of your development. It's a really good time to get rid of it. It will harm no one to get rid of it, and you could have a laugh at yourself while you're doing it, okay? Keep a sense of humor. And just in general here, we're looking at loyalty, issues of loyalty, developmental loyalty. Who's loyal to you? Who are you loyal to? Who do you expect loyalty from that you are getting it from consistently? And alternatively, who do you expect loyalty from that you are not getting it from consistently? And then maybe take a look at that relationship, particularly if there's any semblance or feeling of playing a fool this week. Anything having to do with trickery or fool's gold or games, that type of thing. So let's just see what the angels have to add All right, we're looking at Serenity. This is going to be your calling card this week too, especially here with introspection. You're really going to have to step back from a situation to see clearly here, and it's paramount that you stay focused and that you stay serene, especially in the face of something that could be upsetting, or if you find yourself cluing into something here that you were previously unaware of for whatever reason, probably regarding loyalty. You know what? Take someone or something at face value. Don't make excuses for them. Stand up for yourself. You don't have to be mean about anything. I think true colors might be shown this week as well. Fool's gold will be under the microscope this week is another way to frame this. Something will be figured out to be inaccurate or inauthentic all on its own. If it's you, have a laugh. Try to make amends, try to fix it. If it's someone else, really question why you would allow that person to do that in your life, or how much you want to tolerate that. Imagine. This is beautiful to have for your final card this week. This is another level of how are you using your imagination? You really want to focus this week, okay? This is a very powerful card to have. This is a phase by which you can reinvent something that has gone awry, that you no longer want, plans that need revision. This is a beautiful week to remake that schedule or remake those goals for yourself, and to consider what that path is for yourself, and to consider who you have on it with you, right? But ultimately imagine the best for yourself. Here we have you sort of attached here by this silver string to the moon, to something large that hasn't even been invented yet. So I would really focus your attention on your long-term and short-term goals and outcomes. Don't let any of this silly pettiness. This Wile E. Coyote is petty, by the way. Very, very petty. This is why it's not even really that important. It's just that a lesson could be learned here that can, whereby you can now see clearly what you need to avoid in order to move toward your highest purpose and goals even faster. So there's just something that's going to be shown to you that you'll say, oh, okay, cool. Now I know not to pay attention to that, or now I can avoid that. And focus. Stay calm, stay in your highest energy. Remember, your transformation includes a plan. Perhaps revisit a plan here. Look at issues of loyalty, yours and others. See where you fit into their lives, they fit into yours. And fools are unwelcome. So let's not make time for that this week. And focus on that higher expressive outcome for yourself, what you have in mind for yourself. There's a tabula rasa, there's a blank slate for you. You can have anything you imagine. So pay attention to that. Don't get caught up in silliness this week if at all possible. So Cancer, if you have a second, let me know how this works out for you this week. I'm always curious. And if you're not already, subscribe to my channel because I upload videos for your sign every single week. So until we meet next time, take good care. Bye for now.